Grace's Letter to Lincoln, Chapter 3. Alice met Grace at the door after school. She clutched Papa's best cape. Mama wants you to practice piano, peel 10 potatoes for dinner, and slice apples for 2 pies. Can't you peel the potatoes? Grace begged. Alice shook her head. I have to finish Papa's cape for the march. What march? Grace asked. Helen said, the Wide Awakes are marching tonight for Mr. Lincoln. Papa will join them. Alice snorted. Papa is too old to march with those wild young men. Grace stood up for Papa. He is not too old, and those young men are not wild. They are patriots, just like Stephen. They are an army with no general, Alice snorted, shouting, waving torches, scaring women and children. The cape swished through the air behind Alice as she left. Where's Mama? Grace asked Helen. At the McCumbers. Mrs. McCumber and Mama are making banners for the march. I'll go over and help them, Grace said, heading for the door. Oh, no, you don't, Alice told her. You peel apples. But Alice, Grace protested. Alice's stony look stopped her. Grace picked up the apple peeler. She snatched an apple off the counter. She attacked the apple. Jenny helped Jefferson escape from the sheriff. Jenny gets to make banners for the parade. She'll probably even get to march in the parade. All I am doing is peeling apples for a stupid pie. I wish there was something I could do, Grace thought. Papa blew in like a whirlwind. Stephen, his wife Lucy, and their baby Samantha followed. Papa gobbled his food. He whisked on his cape. He pecked Mama on the cheek and disappeared into the dusk, with Stephen trailing behind. A pleasant calm settled when the door shut. Mama sighed. Your father is like a little boy at Christmas now that he has joined the Wide Awakes. He is as proud as a tame turkey, Grace said. Lucy spoke up. Stephen thinks Mr. Bedell will join the army if there is a war. The room grew still. Everyone looked at Mama. She smiled. Number 1, there will be no war, even if Mr. Lincoln is elected. Number 2, Papa is too old to be a soldier. Let's finish cleaning up so we can watch the march. They hurried through their chores and put chairs by the front windows. Grace heard the Wide Awakes long before they appeared. A band played Old Dan Tucker, Mr. Lincoln's favorite song. Here they come, Frederick shouted. I can see the torches. Grace crowded against Mama, trying to get a better view. She saw the flickering flames from 100 torches. The glass rattled as the Wide Awakes shouted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Tiger! Banners and posters of Abe Lincoln and Hannibal Hamlin fluttered. Grace looked for Papa. He was marching with Mr. McCumber. A boy marched beside them. The boy looked familiar, a slight boy with old clothes that were far too big for him. Grace squinted. She rubbed her eyes. The boy was Jenny! Grace burst into tears. She ran from the room, raced upstairs, and flung herself onto her bed. The bed rattled as she sobbed harder. Mama's hand stroked her hair. Her touch felt as light as a butterfly's wing. Grace, what's wrong? She asked. Grace sobbed harder. Mama rubbed Grace's shoulders. Grace gave one last shuddering sob and rolled over. She flung her arms around Mama. Why does everyone else get to help and I don't? What do you mean, Grace? Mama asked. Didn't you see Jenny marching with her father? She got to help you make banners today. She got to help Jefferson escape. She got to... Grace, you know how Papa feels, Mama interrupted Grace. A woman's place is in the home, Grace repeated, having heard Papa say it hundreds of times. Grace looked at Mama's dark brown eyes. She had a sudden thought. Does Papa know you worked on the banners? Mama shook her head. I agree with Papa most of the time, but not all the time. My place is here in our home, but I must also reach beyond our doors. Like making banners? Grace asked. Mama sighed. More than that, dear. I want to be able to vote just like the men. If women could vote, maybe we could keep the country together. The problems America faces today, with war coming and slavery spreading, these problems are not just problems for men to solve. They are problems every American needs to help solve, men and women alike. Children too? Grace questioned. Mama stroked Grace's hair. Children too. How can I help? Grace asked. Mama hesitated and then said firmly, you can help us make more banners and keep it secret from Papa. Mama nodded her head as she handed Grace a linen handkerchief. Grace wiped away her tears and blew her nose. Now let's go down and warm up the wonderful pies you and Helen made. Papa and Stephen will be hungry when they return.